I'm Anna, and this is one of our Compassion Works for All videos. And you can find us on the web at compassionworksforall.net. We make a lot of videos just to help you in finding your path in life, and meditation videos and contemplative videos to help you find your own truth. This video is about child care, and we're looking at child care from a more meditative and compassionate point of view than when we often read child care texts. And one thing we all know who have gone through the years of commitment and dedication to raising our children or helping others raise children is that it is probably one of the toughest jobs anywhere, and it's exhausting. And for mothers and fathers, it is a round-the-clock job. And when children are infants and toddlers, they have so much more energy than we have that it is very, very hard to keep up with them. If you're watching this video when your child is still an infant, then maybe we're giving you a head start with some clues that might be helpful. One of which is to have some quiet time with our baby from the time we're really training them to self-regulate, which means to find ways to calm themselves when they're in distress. One thing that we all do naturally is to rock them and sing to them, and as they grow a little bit older, you can say to them, this is our quiet time. This is our time to be still. If you're a meditator, it is a very nice thing to bring your child into your meditation sessions with you for part of that time as a family or by yourself, and they will learn to have that meditation time or quiet time as a normal thing in their life. If you are starting when your child is a little bit older, say you are raising one who is in their more demanding 2-year-old stages, it's not too late to take them aside and say, this is our quiet time, and do it 2 or 3 times a day, as well as before they go to sleep at night. And have that time of being peaceful and rocking and singing to them, or you can even say, let's have our meditation time. And then for 2 or 3 minutes, that's all, just being still and quiet. As you can imagine, if they get in the habit of doing this, then when they are throwing a little temper tantrum or having distress, you can then say to them, let's have our quiet time, and then we'll talk about that cookie, or then we'll talk about your toy. If they are already in the habit and know that those times with you are comforting, they are more likely to sit in your lap and rock and be still and quiet for a few minutes. Now, of course, if you've missed that window of opportunity when they're much more compliant and teeny tiny, then you have to start with a little more guidance and maybe a little more structure. One thing you can do if they're crying or having a fit in the grocery store and you know that they're not sick or in reasonable distress, you may have to take a minute and put your hands gently but firmly on their shoulders and look in their eyes and say, we're not going to cry, we're going to have quiet time for a minute. If you're at home, you can pick them up and rock them and keep telling them this is quiet time, not crying time. If the fit continues, you may get to the point where you say 2 minutes and time out, and then we'll have quiet time. You stay calm, you stay pleasant, but you stay clear and firm. Then when you are done having the quiet time, talk to them. Give them a short, simple, clear explanation, not a rant or a rave or a punishment, that will help explain to them why they can't have that cookie or why they can't have that toy. Give them something that they can understand at their level of comprehension. I assure you that if you do this when your child is small and you have those times of clarity and caring and reassurance and explanation, then you will have a much more cooperative child and a much more cooperative teenager. But if you try to dominate them or get into power struggles or throw a fit that is equal to theirs, you are going to have a child that will always compete for being the boss in the family. And quiet time is not going to happen when they're 16, and that has been the way that things have been managed all their life. If you have a 16-year-old that is having trouble with anger or temper tantrums, you can start with a 16-year-old with these very same techniques. Stopping, looking at them, being clear, look them in the eye, say clearly what you have to say that it's not going to be discussed until after you've had quiet time. Even teenagers oftentimes are very responsive to still having their parents hold them or rock them. Hard as that is to believe, there are a lot of 15 and 16-year-old boys and girls that still feel like two and want to have that loving, kind reassurance. They may throw temper tantrums, and you have to not lose it, have to not engage with them. It's just as important at 16 as it is at 2. Build quiet time into the day, into the relationship, and then after you've had time together that's reassuring and relaxing and soothing for both of you, then have a discussion about the issue that is at the capacity level of the child. When you have some time together, be sure and tell them what you appreciate about them, what you love about them. Don't make it all about no, and don't make it all about punishment and rules. Make sure that the times of telling them how they're special, how they're talented, what they're good at, how you appreciate when they do helpful, kind things, far, far outnumber the times that you're telling them something where you're restricting them. Thank you for being a loving, kind, compassionate parent or friend to children. That is what will sustain them all their life, because it is your voice that they integrate, and it is your voice that will guide them and talk to them for the rest of their life. Please come back to watch more of our videos or go to our website anytime. We have lots of videos about difficult life issues.